But we just want to say welcome everyone to the Bengal Bridge orientation, our virtual orientation. We are super excited to meet you all today. But I just want to say welcome. I'm going to let Misty do a quick welcome of her own. She's the Bengal Bridge coordinator of the program. And then we'll have the faculty mentors just do a real quick intro.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm over here on this screen if everyone can see me. My name is Misty Prejean. I'm the coordinator of Bengal Bridge. So I'm teaching ACAT 1104 first year transition and also money management, ACAT 1110. And I want to, first of all, welcome you to your first semester at Idaho State University. We are so excited that you made this decision to pursue your degree at Idaho State and to start with Bengal Bridge. We know it's going to be a great semester because it is a great semester every year that we have Bengal Bridge. So I'm so excited to see all of your faces. I know everybody else is excited to see your faces because we've been working with you guys for quite some time. And so now to just know that you're that much closer to being in our class, I know that we're all thrilled about that. I also want to make sure that everybody knows that you have a lot of support in this program. If you're unsure about anything, if you're confused about anything, or if you want to accomplish something, we want you to really reach out to us. Reach out to your faculty mentors, and we'll all introduce ourselves shortly. Reach out to your instructors. Any one of us can make sure that we get you the help or the, get something sorted out if you need. So we're here for you, and we're expecting you guys to ask us questions. We are waiting for that. That's how learning works most efficiently, is to ask questions and be engaged. So we want you to reach out to us anytime that you want. And we also hope that you'll use this as an opportunity to make friends, right? So look around at all of these boxes. These are potential lifelong friends. These are people that can help you get jobs right now or in the future. Start networking, talk to your classmates inside and outside of class. And then we have a lot of events virtually that are planned for you, and potentially non-virtual events as well, so that you guys can invite each other to get to know each other a little bit better in a different format besides class. So we're really excited to have you be a part of our program, and welcome to Bengal Bridge.
I'll go ahead and go. Welcome, graduating class of 2024, Idaho State University Bengal Bridge students. Woohoo! We're so happy that you are attending the orientation today. My name is Dr. James Izar, but those that will have me during the summer, you'll get to know me by a nickname that I will share with you later. But we are so excited that you are joining us not only today, but this summer. And it shows your commitment to education and being a better individual in spite of all that's going on right now across the globe. You are committed to being here. So welcome, and we look forward to helping you.
I'll go next. Hi, Bengal Bridge scholars. I welcome you all. My name is Mufid Abu Diab. I am a faculty mentor for the Bengal Bridge. I'll be teaching the Math 1153 for the Bengal Bridge this summer. I'm looking forward to meet you guys in my class. Have a great day.
I'll go next. Hi, everyone. My name is Beauty Chabuka, and welcome. I'm super excited to see all your faces, familiar faces. I'll be teaching chemistry, and so if you are taking chemistry, I'll be your professor.
Hi, everyone. My name is Luis Carrillo. I am one of the clinical assistant professors for Bengal Bridge, and I'll have the honor of teaching 2 ACAT courses, ACAT 1104, and then Money Management, ACAT 1110. I'm looking forward to seeing you all. It's good to see some familiar faces on here. This is an awesome experience for me, and I wanted to say that all of you are this is at the cutting edge of technology. We are making history right now, and you're all a part of it. So welcome, and I look forward to working with all of you.
Good to be with you all, even in this virtual setting. I'm a happy member of the Bengal Bridge team. We work long and hard to prepare for this, and so it makes me feel excited to see you all, even if there's 5 pages and I have to scroll down just to see all of your faces. As a member of the Bengal Bridge team, I'll be teaching a section of ACAD 1104, first year transition, and I'll be teaching section 3 of English 1101. And I just echo what Misty said. Nothing makes us happier than receiving questions from you, making things more clear, and helping you have a successful experience. So we are truly here for you. Good to see you all.
And again, my name is Bionica Yellowhair. I don't know if I said that before, but I am teaching the Education 2204 class and a section of ACAD 1104 this summer. So this is the agenda for today. We'll cover these 10 items. We already did that welcome from Misty. We also met the faculty mentors already. So next we're going to go into the program structure and requirements for Bengal Bridge, so being a student in the program. We will talk about and show you how to access your course schedule for the semester, and discuss course schedule times and days and kind of the expectations of being a college student in this program this summer. We'll talk about how to access Moodle and what Moodle is and how important that will be during the summer semester. Discuss textbooks, and then give you some first week of the semester reminders and give you some financial aid reminders as well. And then we'll open it up at the end for any questions that you might have. So just let us know if you have any questions. I would encourage you all to take notes, write your question down, and save them at the end so we can make sure to try to answer those before we end our meeting today. So this is the list of all your faculty mentors that are in the Bengal Bridge program. And if you know who your faculty mentor is, there is their email, there is their ISU texting and phone information as well. So feel free to jot that down before you leave today. And then the student success number where we all work is on the right-hand side at the bottom. So that's the email, and then that's a phone number that you can call if you have some questions and you're not able to reach your faculty mentor right away. But I will go ahead and turn it over to Stephen to talk about the program uniqueness.
Okay, well, by uniqueness, I just want to spend 2 or 3 minutes talking about the unique quality of what you see here. If someone had told me, I first started teaching in 2003, if someone had told me someday I'd be teaching to my computer, looking at a bunch of squares of people that I've never met face to face, I would have laughed and thought they were referring to some science fiction movie. So we love Bengal Bridge, and we love the chance for students to get to know each other. Bengal Bridge students often finish having made their first group of friends in college, and we love to develop close relationships with students. I have, while I would much prefer to see you face to face, I have become convinced that we can still do those things in this setting. And I look forward to getting to know you this way. And then when you come onto campus in the fall, having you come into my office and actually say, oh, you are a real human. It's nice to meet you. You're a special group of students. You're going to be that graduating class who graduated virtually, whatever method your high school used, whether it was a parade by car or online or something like that. I watched a little video today. The actor Tom Hanks, maybe you've heard of him, he spoke digitally to the graduating seniors of his former high school in the Bay Area. And he said to them, you've been chosen by fate to lead the way in whatever our post-pandemic world is going to be. Make it a great one, would you? We're all relying on you. So you're a special group of students. Let me talk to you just for like 3 minutes about how you can succeed in a Zoom classroom, okay? Now, keep in mind that your individual instructors may add to this, or they may adjust some of these recommendations. But these are some of the things that I've put together that I think will help you be successful in the Zoom classroom. You will meet in your classes a minimum of 50% of the time. Some of your teachers will choose to have you meet for the full class twice a week out of 4 days. Some of you may have you meet every single day, but maybe for less number of minutes. We've experienced as a team what can become a little bit of a physical overload that you can experience by Zoom. And so we don't want to leave you totally drained by the end of the day. So number one, your instructor and your classmates, they want to see your face. We learned this as a team at the beginning of this whole experience. We had team meetings every day and we weren't all showing our faces. And by showing our faces, we gained a sense of unity, a sense of camaraderie that was hard to gain when you're working alone in your office all day long. So unless you're having connectivity issues, have your video on. This, of course, means that clothing is not optional, right? So wake up, freshen up, and whatever face you put on is going to be seen by everyone else in this space. If you're uncomfortable showing your personal space, maybe you've got lots of family members in the background, you can always use a virtual background. I don't know if you can see Dr. Luis Carrillo, but he's using a virtual background right now. And for the first time in weeks, he's combed his hair and put on a tie. He's looking sharp. I think he even got a haircut recently. Think of things like, can my face be seen? Is there good lighting? If there's too much backlight from the windows below, all you'll be is a shadow, right? Adjust your camera so that it's around eye level, things like that, okay? That helps yourself, your professor feel connected to you, vice versa, and with your classmates. Second, mute your microphone when you're not speaking. This keeps background noise to a minimum. It can save you from embarrassment. I read a story of a professor who was on a class like this during the spring. A student forgot to mute his microphone and said, "This class is so boring." And he said it out loud to his professor and everyone in his classroom. So be sure you keep your microphone on mute, especially if you want to say something disparaging about your professor. If possible, find a quiet space without interruption or background noises. I know this can be challenging. I've worked up at the university for much of the spring because I've got 3 children under the age of 8. Working at home was not easy. Number 3, raise your hand and wait to be called upon. You can physically raise your hand like this. You can use the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen. Once your instructor calls upon you, you can then unmute yourself, make your comment, add to the discussion, and then mute yourself back. You can also use the comment section to make a comment if you don't want to interrupt the professor. Just be aware those comments are public and recorded in the meetings of the session. Number 4, while tempting, avoid multitasking while attending a Zoom meeting, a Zoom class. You will retain the lecture and discussion better if you refrain from using your smartphone, shopping online, gaming, or other such activities. I know it's tempting. I've felt the temptation myself. But you will gain more from that session if you can avoid that temptation. 5, rename yourself using your preferred name. I don't know if you can see Dr. Bird Izar, but he has renamed himself according to the name that he goes by. So if you go by something other than what you've put in there, I'm going to start calling you the name I see. So I want to be able to know what you prefer to go by, which might not be your given name. Okay. Number 6, join early, up to 5 minutes or so before the meeting time. It's always better to be early rather than late, even for a virtual class. It lets your professor see you. It might even let your professor just have a little small talk with you before the formal class starts, get to know you better. And it allows you to prepare yourself, lay out your materials, your book, your pen, your pencil, your notebook. Finally, number 7, this is virtual learning, which means participating in a learning community. Sometimes we associate online learning with a solitary experience. We're calling this virtual learning because we truly are trying to engage you in a community experience. So find ways to engage, even though we're doing it through a computer. We can't fully recreate the experience of face-to-face learning, but this is an opportunity to engage with each other through a screen by having discussions, by interacting, that goes beyond that solitary experience we often associate with online learning. So with that, I'll end and say, welcome to virtual Bengal Bridge. Let's have a good time. We're going to do a great job.
Thank you very much, Stephen. That's good advice. As you were talking about kind of Zoom etiquette, I kind of moved my computer to the side because I do have a window here. So good information for everyone. Misty, do you want to go ahead and talk about the student expectations and all that?
Yeah. Yeah, and Stephen, that was excellent. I was taking notes, so thanks for all of those reminders. So I'm going to talk about our program structure and requirements. I want everyone to just really write this down, put this on your calendar. Our program starts on Monday, June 15, and I know you all know that, and it ends July 31st. On BengalWeb, it might say that your class ends August 7 or something like this. So that's incorrect. That's just an automated sort of typo. So just know that your classes end July 31st. That includes finals, everything. Okay. So make sure that you know that, and just keep it on your calendars so that you don't expect to go a week longer than is planned. Secondly, because our program is only 7 weeks, and it's a quick 7 weeks, but it is amazing. This is compared to like a 16-week semester, right? Your fall semester is going to be 16 weeks. Because our program is 7 weeks, that means that every class really, really counts. You've got to show up and you've got to be there, right? So if you miss one class, it's kind of like missing 2 in this 7-week semester. So don't just miss classes. Don't take for granted just one class session. You should really attend every single class session. And we'll be taking attendance. And if you're not attending classes, we're going to reach out to you. We expect you to be here, right? We want you to get the best out of this experience that you can. And if you're not here, you can't learn. So we really, really want to make sure that you guys are taking seriously, showing up to every single class and getting everything you can out of that class. Okay, so additionally, if you've got any sort of issue or maybe your internet goes down or something like this, don't just stop attending, right? Reach out to us in any way you can, a phone call, an email, however you can, to let us know that you're having trouble, and we'll help you, right? We want to make sure that any hurdles that you might have, we can help you overcome those so that you can attend your classes and that you can make this a successful semester in Bengal Bridge. Every student is going to be taking an ACAT 1104 first year transition class. So you all, no matter what your schedules are, you all are in a first year transition class. The instructor that's in this class is your go-to person, right? If you ever are unsure of anything at all, contact your first year transition instructor and reach out to them for any problems that you might have whatsoever. Additionally, I think that all of you probably know this by now, but you all have your own faculty mentor. So we've introduced ourselves already, but faculty mentors, we're faculty members that are part of Bengal Bridge, and we've been helping you get ready, and we will continue to help you throughout Bengal Bridge and after that. So we're also this really strong contact point of reference that you have, so you can make sure that anything that you need, anything you're having trouble with, you've got lots of help, okay? One more thing that I want you to know is that you need to really start checking your ISU email consistently. So your instructors at ISU, they have access to your ISU email. So your ISU email is going to be a combination of your first and last name at isu.edu. This is a Gmail account, and it comes with you being a student at ISU. You all have one. If you haven't logged into your ISU email or you're not sure how, contact your faculty mentor and we can help you with that. But that's where we're sending all of your emails, right? That's where people are going to contact you if you get a scholarship, if class is canceled, if anything else happens and we need to get a hold of you. We're not going to email your other email accounts. It will be your ISU email. So just make sure that you have access to that by the time that class starts. And then make sure also that you know who your faculty mentor is, right? Who is your go-to person? If you're not sure who your go-to person is at this point right now, email bengalbridge@isu.edu and ask us who your faculty mentor is, and we'll make sure that you know. I think that all of you probably know because we've been contacting you and in a lot of conversations with you, especially over the last week. So hopefully everyone knows. So that's my bit on the program structure and requirements.
Thank you, Misty. I also just wanted to point out for the faculty mentors, Misty, Cindy, the group chat, if you want to just keep an eye on that, there were some questions. So I was answering some of those questions as you were talking, Misty. So if we could just keep an eye on that, that would be great. But thank you, Misty, for that information. So the next item on the agenda is I'm gonna show you the steps to follow to access your course schedules in Bengal Web. So there's 3 different ways to view your schedule on Bengal Web. And the first 2 are going to also give you access to view your textbooks that are required for your class. And in the Google slide presentation, it does list all the steps. So if you aren't able to follow along as I'm showing you how to look up your course schedule, it should be in the presentation, all the instructions on how to access that. So can everybody see my Bengal Web login screen? Stephen, okay, I see Stephen, he gave me a thumbs up. So to access your Moodle, or excuse me, your class schedules, you're just gonna log in to Bengal Web. And just so you all know, the login for your ISU email account, your Bengal Web, your Moodle pages, the login password and username is going to be the same. So just make sure to check all 3 regularly because it's going to be important during the summer. So after you've logged into Bengal Web, you're going to click on the Academic Tools tab on the left-hand side. And if this menu doesn't pop up on your screen, you'll click on these 3 little white dots in the square here up at the top, and it'll open up that menu. So if you open up the menu, click on Academic Tools. And then under the Registration Tools screen, it will show you 2 different options to view your schedule. So under Registration Tools, you can click on either My Detailed Schedule or My Concise Schedule. So I like the My Concise Schedule view because it gives you it doesn't give you as much information. On the other view, you have to kind of scroll down and see all the information on the My Detailed Schedule view. This is more concise. It's a little bit more compacted so you can see everything on one screen. Obviously, we can't see anything on my screen because I'm not a student, but for you all, you should be able to see your class schedule on this screen here. And same thing goes for the other view option. I'll just go back to Academic Tools, click on My Detailed Schedule. Obviously, again, there's nothing there, but it'll show you a more detailed information about all of your classes for the summer semester. Okay. The other way to view your class schedule, I'm going to actually turn it over to Misty. She's going to show you how to access your class schedule and look at the week at a glance for the summer semester.
Okay, so let's see here. Can you guys see my Bengal Web? Okay, I'm going to take you through week at a glance. Here, let me see if I can get out of this. I've got this in front of my screen. There we go. Okay, so to go to week at a glance, the best thing to do is go to My Registration and Schedule Information on your profile. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay, and then you're going to go ahead and click on Week at a Glance. So Week at a Glance will take you to whatever semester the date shows. So make sure you're not in your fall semester. I'm going to type in 6/15/2020, which is when Bengal Bridge starts, and hit Submit. I don't have any classes for that period. So I'm going to actually do this for a different semester. I'm going to say October 31st so you guys can see my fall semester. I'll hit Submit, and then you can scroll down and you can see that it shows when I have certain class times, right? So I have this class at 1 p.m. on Monday. have this one on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:30 a.m. And it shows me also the room number that I'm supposed to be in. And at the very bottom of the screen, if you had any problems with two classes being at the same time, it would show right here. So you always want to check and make sure you don't have classes double scheduled. So this is the week at a glance view. Is there anything else that you want me to look through real quick, Bionica?
Nope, that was it. I just wanted to go through this process of viewing a class schedule. Thank you, Misty. All right, so next we'll go on to the course schedule, kind of going over the layout. Misty kind of already went over some of that already, but I'm going to turn it over to Mufid. He's going to talk about the discipline-specific sessions that take place on Monday and or Tuesday afternoon, just depending on your schedule, and he'll talk more about that class schedule view.
Sure. Hi, everybody. As you heard Bionica or Misty talking about accessing your class schedule. So now can you see my sample one? So I'm looking at class for 9 credit for a student who's taking first class math 1153, second communication, the third ACAD 1104. And because that student is not taking a P class, so it needed one more elective, which is counseling here. So if you look at the times, so the first class is gonna run from 8:20 to 9:50, the second class from 10 to 11:30, then the ACAD will go from 11:40 to 12:40, then you're gonna have a lunchtime from 12:40 to 1:15. Now, for each class you're taking in the morning, the first or the second, you're gonna have a DSI class. What is the DSI? Basically what it is, an extra session where you will have the opportunity to apply the concepts or the tool which you learn in the morning. Or maybe you didn't have enough time in the morning to finish up the topic, so they can come back in the afternoon and do more work on it. So you'll have an opportunity either to learn more or you practice these ideas. So that will be the DSI, like I said, from 1:30 to 3 o'clock. Now, this is a student has no P class. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing this and go back and share with you sample number 2, which basically make it big so everybody will see it. 9 credit again, but this student is taking English 1101P, right? The second class art, and then the third ACAD, and there is no elective because that P count for credit. If you look at the timeline, same thing. For period, second period, ACAD, the lunch, and then the DSI, but there's also a P section right here, do you see? So one more time. So I just said first period, the second, and the ACAD, and then the lunch, then the DSI, which I explained before. But now, since that student has a P section, then they're gonna have an extra class on Thursday between 1:30 to 3 o'clock. That's called the P section. The P section, basically what it is, it's an extra session again, where you will have the opportunity to go and brush on your background. You will be given some tools, skills, which will allow you to recover some of the information which you already forget. So that the whole idea, so you can do well in your class, whether the first class in the morning or the second one. So that's the P section. So now I explained DSI and the P section. Now, if you are taking like a 6 credit, it's gonna be the same idea, except you're gonna have in the morning only 1 class, and then the ACAD, and then the DSI or the P section. It's gonna be almost the same. For the sake of time, I will not show you samples for the 6 credit. It's gonna be the same, like I said, but instead of two core classes, it's gonna be 1 core class, DSI, and if you're taking a P class, it's gonna be like a P session in the afternoon. I think that's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you, Mufid. And for all the students in the here right now, your instructors will go over all of this information with you again. Different instructors will teach or approach that DSI session on Monday and Tuesday afternoon a little differently. And everyone's schedule is different. So if you don't see 2 DSI sessions, you might only be signed up for 6 credits. Some are only signed up for 5, so just understand that everyone's schedule is a little different, but your instructors should go over that information with you all again at the beginning of the summer classes starting, okay? And I also want to just point out, good job everyone, you're asking questions, and some of you are helping each other out, answering other students' questions. So I appreciate you guys taking the time and helping one another out in that chat area there. So what I want to go over next, also wanted to show you one thing that someone asked a question about what to do if you don't have a link to your class. So I'm going to go back, and here are the instructions on how to access your course schedules. Again, you'll get this presentation a little later. That bullet point at the very bottom, if you do not have a Zoom link for one of your classes, you want to contact the Student Success Center on Monday, starting on Monday, at that email address. So include your name in that email, include the name of the class and the section number. So that'll help the person who is answering these emails kind of figure out which class, which instructor they need to contact to get that Zoom link, because we might have multiple sections of a specific class. So there's multiple sections of ACAD 1104, and they all have their separate Zoom link. So just make sure to include as much information about your classes when you are emailing the Student Success Center. So do this on Monday. Between now and over the weekend, your instructors will probably reach out to you and let you know what those Zoom links are. So I just wanted to point that out. That's the email address that you'll contact if you did not get a Zoom link sent to you. Make sure to check your ISU email account as well. You might have already gotten that Zoom link sent to you. And like Misty was saying, the staff members, the faculty members, administrators on campus, they are going to start contacting you through your ISU email account and not through your personal Gmail or Hotmail account. We do have access to that, but it's just easier for us to send you emails to your ISU email account. So make sure to check that at least once a day, 1 to 2 times a day when the summer starts, when our classes get going. And then in this presentation, I just included kind of a draft of what the schedule looks like for a 9-credit student. But again, it's a little different, as Mufid pointed out, depending on if you have a 9-credit schedule, 6-credit, 5-credit, this all looks different, okay? But I just wanted to show you what a schedule looks like for a 9-credit semester. All right, next, I will let Bird, I'll turn it over to Bird, and he is going to show you, just really quickly, how to access your Moodle pages, because your Moodle pages are going to be very important during the summer. So Bird, if you just want to take a few minutes to explain Moodle, why it's important, and how to access Moodle pages as well.
Okay, thank you. Moodle is the instructional platform at Idaho State University. And so it is a vehicle, it's a tool that instructors will utilize to communicate with you, to share educational materials with you, to have various conversations. There'll be breakout opportunities, and all kind of things will happen through the instructional platform. A lot of you, from my conversations, you're familiar with instructional platforms from your particular high school. They may not have been called Moodle. They can be called a variety of other educational platforms, but you do have some experience with it. So the Moodle is the Idaho State University vehicle for what you're going to utilize during the course of this summer here. Okay, so what you always need to be mindful of is always get to your home ISU page. And from that home ISU page, you'll be able to access a lot of the resources that Idaho State University has. Now, there is a little difference between on your laptop or your desktop and then also accessing the Moodle from your mobile phone. So just be aware of that. It will not look the same, but you can get to the same resources that you need. So what happens here when you get to the home page, what I kind of instruct students to do, and it's really easy. If you click on the quick links, you'll have some icons that will pop up. And of course, here's the Moodle page right there. If you click on it on your mobile phone, it won't be spread out across the screen. It'll be up and down, vertical, and you'll have to maybe scroll up and down to go find it. But this is the quickest way to get to your Moodle page. And when you click on that, you just come down and then you click on Moodle ISU. And then, as Bionica had mentioned, if you click over here on these like lines, then you'll get your additional menu. You click on your dashboard, right? Or you have an option to click on your courses. I'm not enrolled in any courses, so it doesn't allow me to click on that. But if you clicked on it, your courses would come up. But for me, I'm going to click on the dashboard, and then I'm going to go down here to the summer ACAD class that I'm teaching, and then boom, there's everything that you need there. The announcements will be posted. Most instructors will post their announcement. The class syllabus for my section is already posted. And then I also have here a Zoom link for the students that are going to be in my ACAD class. And so every day of our class period, all you have to do is just click on this link, and then you'll be connected to the class for that day. Now, different instructors may do this a little different. Okay, so you just have to be mindful on that first day to make sure that you get in touch with your instructor and make sure that you understand the path that they would like you to go to be able to participate in class for the course of the summer. And that's how to get into Moodle.
Thank you, Bird. I appreciate it. I'm also going to show you one other way to access your Moodle pages. So I think a student in this orientation pointed this out. When you log into Bengal Web, there are these icons at the top of the page. And this is also another way. So if you click on that little M icon at the top of your Bengal web pages, that will also open up Moodle. The way that I like to get to Moodle, and again, everyone's different, is by typing in this website address here, elearn.isu.edu. So if you type in that website address, it'll take you to the sign-in screen. So you've got 3 different ways of accessing your Moodle pages. So I would recommend, and I'm sure the other mentors and instructors here in the room, I would recommend start accessing your Moodle pages, start checking them right away. Some of those Moodle pages are already open for you all. So I just opened my education page for my student and my ACAD 1104. I opened both of those today. So you should be able to kind of look through, get a feel for Moodle, and you should do that because you're going to be utilizing it a lot during the semester.
I had a few questions about Moodle from the chats. I wonder if you logged on to Moodle real quick, if we could just show them a couple of these things.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to my Bengal web page here, and then at the top, click on that Moodle page link. And if you've already logged into Bengal Web, it should automatically sign you into your Moodle pages. And so you'll scroll down the page and you'll see your courses for the summer semester.
So one question was if someone had a class from a couple of years ago, a dual enrollment class, how do you stop seeing that link? Like, I think you can hide old classes. You know,
I believe when you open up your Moodle pages, some of the previous courses that you've taken, they show up there. But I think as we get into next week, it'll just show current classes,
okay.
Current Moodle pages. Any other faculty mentors have any suggestions on how to hide those?
On the top right, you can also click a link that says customize the page. And then next to a class, it will have like 3 dots, and you can click on those dots and hide from view. You can hide old classes from view. Another student said, in Moodle, what if we are only seeing one of the courses we are registered for?
Yeah, another student actually might have answered that. They said that maybe Moodle is not open yet for that course.
It could be you have a terrible teacher like me who is still trying to make those available for you to see. And so I'll apologize for any teachers like me right now.
I believe the Moodle pages should be open starting on Monday. They'll automatically open on Monday for all the classes. Okay.
There's a student saying there's a class with 2 titles, which has similar titles. And I think what they are looking at, some teacher will teaching like P class. So whenever a class has a P section with it, it's going to show the same title, but one of them will have a P and the other one will have no P.
Course textbooks, we want to just make sure that you all are aware that you should have those textbooks on hand as soon as possible. I know I've talked to some of my students about getting those textbooks. You'll start working from your course textbooks the very first week of the semester. So order those textbooks right now if you haven't done so yet, because you don't want to fall behind during that first week of the semester. So earlier I showed everyone how to access your detailed or concise schedule. So you go to academic tools here and then click on either my detailed schedule or my concise schedule. So I'm going to click on the my detailed schedule, but if you click on either one, it works. And then at the very bottom of this list, it'll show your schedule. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's this link here that says View by Pocatello Books. So if you click on that link, that will take you directly to the ISU Bookstore's website and will let you know which textbooks are required for each of your classes. And just keep in mind that not all classes will require a textbook, and some of you have probably been getting emails about your course textbooks already. So keep checking your ISU email account, go to your class on the first day of the semester if you haven't heard anything about your textbooks yet. But another way that if you have a question about your textbook is to contact your individual professors directly. So I've already gotten a couple of emails from my students in my ed class about the 2 textbooks that are required for me. We encourage that. Contact your professors if you have any questions about the individual textbook. But those are the steps that you'll follow to get access to your textbooks. And in the Google Slides presentation, this one here, I've listed all the steps you'll need to follow to access your textbooks. So you should be able to see this information after our presentation is over. You can also buy course textbooks through Chegg, Amazon, any other websites that sell textbooks. You can purchase them there. Just make sure you buy the correct textbook, the correct edition as well. And yeah, if there are any questions, just contact your professors about those textbooks. All right, so we're almost done with the orientation portion and we'll leave it open for questions. Just some reminders about the first week, laptop checkout. If any of you need to access a laptop for your classes, so you can do your homework and attend classes, we do have laptops available here that you can check out. So you'll just visit the Open Computer Lab on the 2nd floor of the Rendezvous building. Make sure to bring some kind of ID. Student ID is a good idea to get right now. And then there are the phone numbers listed there for you all in case you want to call them ahead of time. So just understand that we have laptops available for you all to check out, and that's where you'll go to do that. Misty, do you have any quick meal plan updates for those who are living on campus?
I don't have any meal plan updates. I do think that it's helpful for you guys to know that there's about 40 of you who will be living on campus though. So just kind of, you know, be friendly to one another and help each other out. And if you do have any questions about meal plans specifically, you can reach out to housing and or us. So housing, they have that email reslife, RESLIFE @isu.edu. You can ask them if you have any questions about meal plans. Definitely, if you find yourself somehow without food or money at any point in the semester, contact us, reach out to us. We will make sure that you get food. That's something that's really important to us. So otherwise, if I do have any other updates, I'll let everybody know.
Thanks, Misty. And there are some campus computer labs that are open on the Pocatello campus. So there's one in the library, in the Rendezvous building, and the Pond Student Union. And there's a link there that will take you to the campus map. So if you don't know where those buildings are, if you click on that link, you can find out where each of those are located on campus. Student ID cards There is a website that has some more information about those student ID cards, but if you're living on campus, if you are planning on accessing any of the computer labs, checking out books, you'll probably need one for your meal plans as well to swipe to get access to the dining area. You'll need to get a student ID card. So you can either choose to come to campus and pick one up, they'll take your picture, and then they'll give it to you right on the spot, or you can have it mailed to you. If you just click on that link, it'll give you all the instructions that you need to follow to get that student ID mailed to you before or in the next couple of weeks if you decide to do that. Upcoming Bengal Bridge events and study nights, we're in the process of planning those right now. And so as soon as we get more information about the specific events and days and times, we will make that announcement in ACAD 1104. So we do have some events scheduled each week during the semester. Tuition and fees are going to be due tomorrow, so that's June 12th. So make sure you have a plan in place to figure out how to pay your tuition and fees. Talk to your faculty mentors if you have any questions about setting up a payment plan, or if you have any questions at all, you're confused, just let us know. Lastly, to add drop summer classes is going to be next Friday. So if there's an issue with your schedule and you need to make some changes, talk to your faculty mentor as soon as possible. We want to make those changes to your schedules right away. And the last day to do that is going to be next Friday. And as always, if you need help, contact your faculty mentor. Financial aid, this is the last slide, then we'll open it up for questions. Again, tuition and fees are due tomorrow. For those of you who are planning on using financial aid to pay for the summer semester, make sure your FAFSA application is done. You need to fill out the 2019-2020 FAFSA application. Make sure to submit any required financial aid forms. Those show up as red flags under the Bengal Web Student Finances tab. So if you see any red flags, you want to resolve those. If not, your financial aid won't be processed and released. So make sure to take care of that. If you need to set up a payment plan, talk to one of us. Talk to your faculty mentors. You can set that up online in Bengal Web. We can walk you through the steps on how to do that. If you need to take out a student loan, you might need to sign up for a delayed disbursement plan because your student loans won't get released until a month after the semester has started, or 30 days. So you need to set up a delayed disbursement plan by contacting Maria Gonzalez. So her contact information is listed there. And then lastly, short-term book loans. If any of you need a short-term loan to buy your textbooks until your financial aid comes through, this is especially important for students who are getting student loans. You also need to contact Maria Gonzalez at that phone number listed on that 4th bullet point, okay? But as always, make sure to reach out to your faculty mentor about any of this information. We can help you with the FAFSA, help you fill out the those financial aid forms if you need help. So we're here to help you out. So just make sure to reach out to us. All right, everyone. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. But if you want to unmute your microphones, if you have a question, please feel free to let us know. The time is now for you.
Can anyone hear me? Hello?
Yes.
So I was wondering about the IDs. I emailed the people and they never got back to me. How do I access the link that was in the slideshow?
I will share, we will send out an email with the slideshow, the link to it, so you'll have that phone number.
Okay, there. Perfect. Okay, thank you.
No problem.
So I have one more question about books that I was talking about. What if we don't get them in time before like the classes start? What do we do?
So the question was, if you don't get your textbooks in time before classes start, what do you do?
Right.
I would let your professors know. So I would reach out to them and let them know that you've ordered your textbooks and they're still on their way here. It just depends on the class as well. I don't start teaching from my textbook until probably the end of that first week. It just depends on the class. Any other advice, faculty mentors, about what to do?
Yeah, sometimes your instructor might be able to provide you with the first couple pages or the first chapter of your book if the book publisher allows that. So that could be an option too. So just telling your instructor, like, I don't have my book yet, that's important to do so that they understand.
Isn't it possible that some of the textbooks are online? Like, I heard from somebody that you can just get them online and you don't have to buy them.
Yeah, some books are digital. Some books you can access digitally, and so you don't have to wait for them to arrive. They're just there instantly. But not all books that will be required for some classes are going to be available online. So it'll just kind of be half and half. Does that sort of answer your question?
Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions from anybody?
Somebody has a good question. Ben Roberts, he said that his financial aid has red flags, but when he clicks on them, nothing happens. I'm guessing that those two flags are financial aid authorization questions, prior year authorization questions. So if you click on a red flag and you can't click on it, it's actually two questions you need to answer. So on your financial aid page, you go to, on Bengal Web, go to student finances, my financial aid, and then there should be a thing at the top that says like answer questions. So you answer those two questions, and then that should resolve within 24 hours.
I have a question, if that's okay.
What?
I have hearing issues, hearing disability, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to hear through computers all the time. Things get fuzzy and messed around in person, and even more so via electronics.
That is a really great point, and I'm so glad that you brought that up, Catherine. So we will have you direct that question, and I can actually reach out to you and get this information to you. I'll have you reach out to our Student Disability Services, who can provide you with assistance that way. So anyone here, if you have anything that you think is inhibiting you from participating in your classes, then we suggest that we can hook you up with Student Disability Services, and they can provide you with the necessary resources. So yep, we should get that resolved pretty quickly for you, Catherine.
I did see a question. Are they going to send us the links for the classes? Yes, they should be emailed to you all. We showed you all how to log into your Moodle pages. So I would recommend that you try logging in and see if the Zoom meeting link is listed there. I just posted mine the other day for my class. I know some of us have already done that. So, but yes, you should be notified through email.
For kids that are staying on campus and need a parking pass, can someone put the email that we need to contact again?
Yeah, so there's two places that you could get a hold of. My recommendation is to contact housing at reslife.isu.edu.
Okay.
So I just posted that in the chat.
Okay.
And I think that they would there's parking that's designated for students living in housing. Otherwise, if you actually do need to buy a parking pass, then you would contact parking. But let's see if you can get a hold of housing. If you do end up needing to buy it from parking, then we can get you that.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
And for those of you who are not living on campus but are going to come to the campus to use the computer labs, I did call parking services, and they are not ticketing next week, that first week of the semester. So you can park in the yellow general permit lots. Okay. I asked about the rest of the semester, and they are not sure yet. So we'll make an announcement in ACAD 1104 if we know more about parking in the general lots. And again, this is just for those who are coming to campus to use the computer labs and are not living on campus. Any other questions?
So one more, if the bookstore on the Pocatello campus or the Idaho Falls campus has the books that we need, are we allowed to go pick those up, or do we have to wait for them to be delivered?
Yeah, so you can go and pick those up. However, the bookstore is changing hands. So the bookstore is moving to a Barnes and Noble. So the bookstore that is there right now, they're open, and they do have some books, but we're not sure if they have all of the books in stock that you might need. And so that's why we would recommend getting those delivered to your house instead, so that the books can just come from any warehouse that they have. but the bookstore on campus, on Idaho Falls campus, I'm not sure if that's the same situation. Does anyone know?
It's the same situation. My mom works over there.
Okay, yeah, so you could call them maybe beforehand and ask them if they have the book on hand, and then go there in person and potentially get it.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
So if we already ordered them and paid for them and we're supposed to pick them up, we do go to the bookstore in Pond Student Union, right?
Yeah, they said that if you'd already ordered them and marked that you were going to pick them up in person, then you should be okay to pick those up in person. But at some point, they canceled the ability to say, I want to pick these up in person. So if you didn't have that ability to say you wanted to pick them up in person, then shouldn't be a problem. So yeah, you should be able to go and pick them up. It's always helpful to call beforehand and just ask.
I have a quick question about the disbursement plans. Does that mean that the school itself, like the Bengal Bird program, would be paid off and we just won't get the rest of the money back, or is it just like they're holding it for 30 days?
So there is, for any student that's taken a loan out, there's a 30-day delay. And so that just means that for the first 30 days that you attend class, the loan won't be applied to your fees yet. So you need to fill out a form with Maria Gonzalez so that you don't get any late fees as you're waiting for that money to come in for that first 30 days. Then when that 30 days hits, it will apply to your fees. And if there is any leftover money, it will be sent to your house in the form of a check.
Alrighty, thank you.
So
well,
you guys.
I have a question about the check for the refund. So I got an email about it, and they said that I should have set up the refund thing 7 days in advance. But I only got the email yesterday, so are they still just gonna send me a check? Sorry.
They'll mail it to you instead if you don't have the direct deposit hooked up.
Okay, thank you.
And for those of you that don't have a loan, for those of you that got a Pell Grant, your money is going to be mailed to you within the next couple days. You do not have the 30-day delay.
So I have a question about that check, actually. I was just kind of confused in like what you can actually spend it on, because I'm not sure if you actually have to record as like taxable income, or like is there like certain things you can spend it on and then report as taxable income if you have left over. That makes sense.
Yeah, so you can spend it on anything school related. And there's no requirement to report how you spend this, especially not with your taxes, but you do want to make sure that you're spending it for school expenses. This can include housing, books, food, if you need to pay for internet connection, notebooks, even a computer if you don't have a computer. My best advice for you, though, is only buy the supplies that are absolutely necessary. And if you have leftover money, save it for the fall semester, because the fall semester does not have Bengal Bridge price.
So you guys had mentioned social events earlier. I was just wondering what kinds of events are you guys planning, like a social over Zoom or something like that?
So currently we have a module in our first year transition class that has a lot of virtual events. So things that are going on around campus and things that we could create for events. But we will definitely get back to you if we have any in-person events.
I have a question.
On campus.
I have a couple questions, sorry. Do you have the book Not for ESOL Teachers in stock?
Sorry, I thought someone was asking a question. I think they're not on mute all. Okay.
I think they're on the phone with someone else.
Yeah, I think they were on the phone with the bookstore. I forgot what I was talking about.
Live events like Tuesday, whatever. What is it? Wednesday evening?
Yeah, we would like to host in-person events on Wednesday evening. We just want to make sure that it would be safe for everyone's health. So we're just going to see if we can get those approved. And if so, we will have those events happening weekly. Cindy, do you have any news on study sessions either? So yeah, we'd love to host Tuesday night study sessions in person and Wednesday night events in person. But we need to make sure that we're being really safe about this. And so if we can make it happen, we will definitely communicate that. Otherwise, we're gonna have a lot of fun virtually.
Our plan is to tell everybody on Monday about all of the events that we have planned as soon as they're approved through the university.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
I believe that those will be approved, like not like or anything like that. But my uncle works at public safety, and he said that Bengal Bridge is one of the only groups that has been approved for like summer stuff to go meet in person. So like if that does go through, will we have more meetings that are in person than we will virtually?
I do not believe that we're intending on changing the class meetings, right? So that we're meeting in Zoom. I don't believe that we're going to try and make those in person. Cindy, can you confirm that?
Yeah, our classes will stay virtual all semester long for the entire 7 weeks, but some of the events in the evenings, they then might be able to be in person.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
If any of you typed a question in the chat and we haven't responded, now's a good time to ask.
And I just posted disability services link, and it looks like Stephen posted a link to the bookstore up above. So definitely anyone that has questions about those things, you can click on those links or you can ask us, and we can also hook you up with those departments.
I actually had a question, if it's all right. I wanted to ask, how do we find what time we're supposed to meet for our classes? When I went into my schedule, it just has the times. It doesn't really say what days, and also the times seem a bit confusing and overlapping for some classes.
Did you see the week at a glance demonstration that we did a little bit earlier?
My internet is not the most reliable, so it's been kind of going in and out.
No problem. I'll go ahead and have your faculty mentor reach out to you. Reagan, what's your last name?
Dougal, D-O-U-G-A-L.
Okay, yeah, I'll have your faculty mentor reach out to you and show you how to do that. It's Bird. Bird's gonna get back to you and he'll walk you through that process.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question.
Go for it.
What would you say is the most difficult challenge for the students who transition into the summer?
Time management. Anyone agree? Yeah, I would say you guys want to definitely have a calendar, have a to-do list, have something that's really written out, and plan when you're going to attend your classes, when you're going to do your homework, plan when you're going to do all of these things, because there are a lot of tasks that will kind of, it's a change of life, right? You're college students now. So a lot of difference that will happen, and you'll need to organize that, right? You'll need to organize what's going on and kind of get with the rhythm. So time management is probably something that's pretty difficult. I don't know if anyone else has some other topics.
Prioritizing.
Since we are switching over to virtual learning, remembering to keep up to date on checking Moodle, deadlines and due dates. When you're in person, you see us every day. We remind you of deadlines and assignments that you have to turn in. But going virtual, you just got to make sure that you are being responsible and checking Moodle every single day, checking your email every day. That's how you're going to be communicated with. So I would check both of those as often as possible for new information and updates. Sorry, Luis.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna say prioritizing. This is a excuse me, a unique opportunity. You're getting to Misty's point. You're getting the Bengal Bridge rate. So I would prioritize and capitalizing on that opportunity and making sure that I am going to class, taking notes, because this rate, this $65 a credit rate, It's not going to be there in the fall. So we'd rather you start developing these disciplines, these habits that will lead to success, not only during your summer experience with Bengal Bridge, but into the fall. So if you're not going to class, you're not learning, you're not connecting with your students. And you saw right now, we had a student that was able to give us some inside information. Hey, my uncle works. See how social capital works is that if you don't give yourself that opportunity to connect with us, you miss out on those opportunities. So please prioritize this program. And we have another great question. I think the one that often comes up is about work. We understand that for some of us, that work is a necessity. But if you're joining and participating in the Bengal Bridge program, it becomes a simple economic equation. Okay, are you going to be able to be successful in the program and maintain a workload? In our experience, and some of the more seasoned faculty can answer this more, but in our experience, it doesn't go well. And I don't know if somebody wants to go into details about it.
Thank you.
I just want to comment on connectivity. Be creative. Already someone has mentioned challenges of spotty internet. If you live in Pocatello, you can use the library on campus. And that campus has excellent internet. That helps with motivation too. If you have a hard time getting motivated in your bedroom, sometimes leaving home, getting in a separate space helps. If you live away from Pocatello, I know a lot of city libraries are now opening back up. They usually have pretty strong internet. So if you're having connectivity issues, you got to find ways to be creative.
I was going to add to that really quickly. If you live in Boise or Meridian, you can use the ISU campus computers there. Or if you're close to Idaho Falls, you can also use the computer lab in Idaho Falls on the ISU campus. So you're welcome to use any of those spaces.
I have a couple questions. So what would you guys say the best like class to study time ratio is?
I think the kind of golden rule with studying time is you should devote 2 hours of study time per the number of credits you're taking during the semester. So if you're taking 9 credits, you should be studying 18 hours every week. But I think I've seen studies that show to get an average passing grade, that's the equation, 2 hours per credit hour. So if you want to do even better than the average, that C average, studying more hours per week is a better idea.
Okay. And my other question is there Wi-Fi in the dorms if we're living on campus?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you're living on campus, there is a computer lab on the 2nd floor. So if you're having trouble accessing it, there's a computer lab tech, I believe, on that 2nd floor during business hours.
I think that the Wi-Fi is TigerNet. I think that's what it is when we were there. How do we log into that? Because I know that I had some trouble logging into it with just my Bengal ID stuff, and it wasn't working for me, and I had to get some help. So I just is that our password and username is our same stuff we would use to log into Bengal with?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And don't include the @isu.edu at the end. Make sure that's not part of the username.
Okay.
McKenna's my student. Great question.
Another great place to go if you just have any IT problems and you're anywhere on any of ISU's campuses, you can just call 208-282-HELP and they will help you. Log on. If if you're having any problems at all, just dial 208-282-HELP.
All right, everyone, any more, 1 or 2 more questions before we end it?
Hey, I have a quick question. Yes, for one of my classes, when I tried checking for books, it just said course materials are being finalized. Check back soon for updates. And I was wondering what to do if we actually do have it and they don't show up yet. Do we just call the instructor on that?
What class is it for?
In personal finance, I believe.
I don't have any updates on that one. Does anybody else heard anything? Cindy, Misty?
It cut out for me a little bit. Can I hear the question again?
Yeah, I was checking for books for my classes, and one of them said the course materials are being finalized, and I have to check back soon for updates. And since it's for a personal finance class, I'm still not sure if I actually need a book or not before class starts on Monday.
I'll find out for you today. How about that?
All right, thanks.
All right, anyone else? One last
Make a plug, Bianca. I posted earlier a link if some of my students after the meeting had additional questions. I'll make myself available at a Google Meet and they can ask more questions or I can give some tutorials. So I'm posting it on the chat. I don't know if everybody has access to the chat. If you need the link, you can send me a text and I can send you the link via text as well. Shameless plug, sorry.
I do see a book required for Finance 1115. Let's see, it looks like it's just one book. So I can email all of the students that are in that class what the book is.
All right, everyone. If you don't have any more questions, I'm going to go ahead and end our meeting. Interrupt me before I leave and I'll answer your question if you do have one. But make sure to contact, go ahead.
I have two questions if that's all right. One of my courses says course materials have not been determined and it's checked back for updates, and I don't know if that should be a concern or not.
Which class is it?
Summer Poli Science 1101.
We just found out today that political science doesn't have any books, so you don't have to worry about purchasing anything. All of that will be provided for you on Moodle. So you'll have articles to read and things like that through political science.
Okay, thank you. And then my other question was how to get the Bengal ID card or whatever.
So if you live on camp or if you live in the Pocatello, you can go to the Student Union building, to the campus connection desk, and they will look up your information, make sure you're a student registered for classes, and they will take a picture of you on the spot and get you your student ID. If you're not living in Pocatello and you want that ID mailed to you, you're going to email, I believe it's studentid@isu.edu. Can someone really quick fact check me on that? But you'll email the campus connection desk and they will, it looks like Stephen posted the information for the Bengal card instructions in the chat. So you just contact them and they can mail you your student ID card. You just have to take a picture of yourself following the instructions and then they will send that out to you.
And I know a couple of my students asked if, even though they're not living on campus, will they still have access to the amenities such as the gym and all those other things. Yeah, as long as you have your ID card, your Bengal ID card, you should have access to whatever you need on campus.
I have, oh, sorry, you continue.
Go ahead, I heard someone start to ask a question.
So if we order the books and we want to go pick them up in the bookstore, how long do you think we need to wait till we have to go get them?
You should call the bookstore and see. So there shouldn't be an option at this point to pick them up in person at the bookstore. So if they did give you that option, you should call them and see if the books are actually being delivered to the bookstore or to your home. I would clarify with the bookstore.
Okay.
I also had another question. Sorry about this. But there used to be a bus that would come like to Blackfoot and would pick students up, and I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything else about it, and I wasn't sure if the bus was still going to be a possible option for commute. So.
As far as I know, there's no bus that is going to travel back and forth. And have any information on that? Generally in the summer, it's not running overall.
So
Leaving.
I was wondering.
Sorry, go ahead, Jeremy.
So I was wondering for the, like, I know there's a bowling alley there and a movie theater. Are those going to be open while Bengal Bridge is running, or is that like to be determined?
That is such a good question. Let's say to be determined. Cindy, do you know?
Yeah, I have some information that the plan is that they will be open starting in July, but that isn't completely confirmed. So we will be sure to update you all in your classes, in your ACAD 1104 classes, so that you can know if those things, those activities are available.
Sounds awesome. Thank you.
Okay, I don't hear any more questions. Make sure to reach out to your faculty mentor if you did have a question and it didn't get answered either through the chat or you just were a little nervous to ask a question through Zoom. We're here to help you out, so make sure to reach out to us if you need anything. All right, everyone, we're so excited to see you Monday. Have a good weekend.
See you guys.
Have a great weekend.
Roar!
Take care, everyone.